Hey guys, hope you're fine. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny, and so in today's video we're gonna talk about Trump's approval ratings. These approval ratings are some sort of polls that are done, let's say in a fortnight or a month, and this time round there's a poll done about Trump's immigration policies and immigration stance, and it has been determined that it is one of those that has hit its all-time low. I'm talking about a survey that was done between July 14th and July 15th, and it was released around July 16th. So it's a recent news. So right now, it's been verified that it's around 41% for people who support Donald Trump's action, and the rest, which is about 56 to 59%, who are against that policy. So that really shows that these ratings have tanked. Before even going deeper into this matter, I just want us to listen to people's opinions, and then thereafter we're gonna come back and discuss the issues. Let's go.
Surprise, Trump's immigration approval drops to an all-time low amid deportation crackdown. This is from a Newsweek article. Trump's approval rating on immigration has hit a record low, just 41%, according to a recent poll, with 57% of voters disapproving of his policies. The decline follows aggressive immigration enforcement during his second term, including expanded raids, use of military tactics, and sweeping deportation plans led by the border czar, Tom Homan. Public backlash has intensified and protests erupting in cities like Los Angeles, where mass raids prompted curfews. Analysts say Trump is polarizing. These tactics are eroding the broader support, even as he doubles down on re-migration rhetoric to energize his base. ICE's approval is also underwater, with 56% disapproving of its tactics. What do you think? My name is Ruby Powers, your go-to immigration attorney.
Take a look at this. Trump's net approval rating on immigration. Got 5 numbers for you across the screen here. A lot of focus on Gallup at minus 27. That's horrible. The American people have turned against President Donald Trump on what was his best issue, one in which he had a positive net approval rating for most of his term.
Wow, POTUS is still in the doghouse when it comes to immigration, an issue he had previously dominated when he was running for his 2024 election. Ever since the protest riots in LA, we've taken a special note of this issue when it comes to public opinion polls. Please recall, up until that June LA disaster, Trump had been dominating polls when it came to immigration. But shortly after everything that went down in LA, boom, he tanked. He was in the red. His spread was negative. And of course, my promise to you guys was to keep covering public opinion polls when it comes to Trump's approval rating on immigration, because I didn't want just one event to be washed away in the 24 hours news cycle. I want us to keep that in our mind. How does something like a protest/riot affect public opinion over time? Can it really change policy, or does it just get mixed in with all the crazy things that are constantly happening to us? So yep, that's why we're here. Now, things are still bad for Trump when it comes to immigration. They're not as bad as they were directly after that June LA incident. They are actually kind of climbing back up. But let's take a look at 2 polls. We have Quinnipiac with a minus 16, and we have Fox with a minus 7. So how do we get such a discrepancy? Well, let's review the methodology from the Fox poll first. You can see here we have roughly 1,000 respondents. We got a mix of landline surveys, we got a mix of cell phone surveys, and we even have text message to online surveys. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to those landline and cell phone surveys, we don't really get an insight. We don't know how people are asking the questions. We don't know how they're engaging with the respondents, but we'll move on. We'll peep how the question was asked here. Do you agree with how Trump is handling these issues? And then they say immigration, and then they just get the results straight from there. So it's pretty straightforward. The question framing itself seems rather okay. So Quinnipiac came in at a minus 16. So let's check out their methodology right here. And yeah, Quinnipiac, almost 1,000 respondents. But as far as the methodology, they're pretty bare. They don't give us a lot of information or detail. Great. Thank you, guys. Fail. For the sake of it, let's check out how they asked the question. Basically the same thing. We're okay with how that question is asked. We're not okay with the sparse information given to us about the methodology. Come on, Quinnipiac, do better than that. So yeah, there you go. When you're comparing 2 polls, you don't really get much. Isn't that annoying? Shouldn't it be like, hey, this is what the people think, and we'll tell you everything, every method, every detail about getting to those results because it's your results. We're trying to tell you what you, the people, think. Annoying. And Nan's going to do better. We're going to be independent. We're going to be transparent. We don't care about the end result. We care about getting your opinion and showing you what the people think. Remember, a informed populace is a powerful populace. So join us. We need you guys. We love you guys. Each one of you is the most important, powerful thing that exists on this planet. Let's go.
Great insights there. I didn't even consider that. The people that the research was conducted were around 1,027, if I can remember. And this survey was done by Reuters and Ipsos. And therefore, 1,000 people out of, let's say, above 100 million voters. That is not a true reflection. It's only that in research, there is something called a strata and a sample. They take like a sample population, and then the results from that is gonna reflect like the broader population. So you have to take in consideration about that. So 1,000 people is not sufficient enough to say that the whole country says that, but that is how research is being done. And most people will argue that maybe the researchers were a little bit biased, and maybe they went to areas or they asked questions that were so specific. Remember, surveys are usually limited to the questions that are asked and not those that encourage people to think outside the box.
Breaking just moments ago, the Trump administration is planning to dismiss hundreds of thousands of asylum claims from migrants and then make them immediately deportable. This is part of his broad, sweeping deportation plan. The administration officials have quietly been working on ways to do this, and it is going to start taking place. So this is for immigrants who have come here illegally, then applied for asylum, and are in the process of that. Their claims are going to be denied. They will know who they are, and they are going to start targeting them. So ICE is going to start showing up for these people who have applied for asylum, who originally came here illegally. This is going to ramp up here in the coming days and weeks, and we're going to see this massive ICE crackdown continue and escalate even further. According to the latest readout from CNN and the reporting from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, the majority of asylum seekers self-reported how they entered the United States, with about 25% of them saying they first came here unlawfully. Now, those are the people that are going to be targeted in this next round of deportation efforts. And that amount is about 250,000 people. Many of these asylum seekers were fleeing from countries that were under gang control. Their kids were being threatened with violence. Most of them want to just work and contribute to society. There is a better way to deal with this, but Trump is choosing not to. He's choosing the cruel and punishing way to deal with immigrants. And they simply just don't want them here. If these asylum seekers are nonviolent and have been here contributing to society, do you think they should be forcibly removed? Let me know what you guys think about this. Comment, like, share, spread the word, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
Breaking news. The real reason we're having this whole immigration crisis in the United States, and it has nothing to do with the border. It has nothing to do with safety. It has nothing to do with protecting anyone. It has to do with money. It all has to do with money. And here's the latest news about it. You need to listen to it. I know you may think it's boring, but you need to understand. The prison system and the detainee system in the United States is basically 90% of it is privately owned. Okay, private companies make money on this. And to jump back to something that just occurred on July the 8th. On July the 8th, the Department of Homeland Security and ICE announced that they were going to stop allowing detainees to be able to bond out. Basically, if you are a nonviolent immigrant and you're in the country, or you've been here years or whatever, and you have no threat at all to anyone, you're working, you're in school, you're able to bond out. You're able to go back to work, back to school, keep being a productive part of society until your court date came. Well, they've changed that now. Why? Why have they changed that now? They've changed it because if they can keep you in these detainee centers, which $45 billion was just approved in this budget for it, which is all run by private companies, two in particular, GeoCorp and CoreCivic, they are making tons of money on it to the tune of $245 to $266 a day. What? Yes, they're making money. The longer they keep people detained under their custody, they get money. It's all about money. So who in the White House, and these groups, these political groups, this GeoCorp and this CoreCivic, these private prisons groups, has given tons of money to you-know-who, the Orange Jesus and others in the White House. Why? Because it's all about money. Now they've got a $45 billion gravy train. The more people that are in these detained in these centers, they get more money. It's nothing about the border. It's nothing about any of that. It's all about money. If it were, they would be more concerned with properly having them deported. It's not. It's about detaining them. So they're saying, look over here, look over here. No, it's about money. And guess what? You all just footed the bill That's what is going on with that. It's all about money, and they're getting rich. It has nothing to do with any of the other reasons they had to say. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, my burned out bulbs. And you go look and see who owns this GeoCorp and CoreCivic stock. Yeah, and look who they gave contributions to. You'll never guess who. Right. What do you think? Children, it's all about money. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, my burned out light bulbs. It's all money, money, money. As usual. With the Trump administration, it's always about money. Never doing the right thing.
What was that outro, bro? Hey, on a serious note though, I want to make a correction. When the video started, I said it was 41 against 56 or 59. Well, the people who approve Trump's actions are actually 41%, and the people who are against it are 51%. The rest, I think they are undecided or maybe spoiled votes. Also, another thing to consider is that we're gonna look at the trend of these approval ratings or polls that have been done in the recent days. Before this, 41% approval. Before this was 44% and then 47%. So we can clearly see the trend, 41, 44 and 47. It means the approval ratings is slowly dipping. So we are expecting the next to be around 38 to 41% or 42% depending on the action that Donald Trump is going to take or his administration is going to take, of which I just listened to Caroline Leavitt yesterday talking about the DOJ and the Epstein files and more of funds being set for ICE to do the raids in future. It seems these approval ratings will tank more in the coming days. Read several articles. Most of them are saying the numbers are between 1,000 to 1,100 of the people that the survey was conducted. Why are people against the Trump immigration policies? Some people, especially adults, around 53% or 54% adults, think that the means that they are using in order to deport people are very inhumane. Like for instance, ICE doing the raids, they do the raids in a way that kind of a symbolic form of abduction where someone is just picked randomly either along the street or when they are working or when they are schooling. They just pick you up. They don't care about the people you have or the loved ones, the people that they can reach out to inform them that you have been taken. For a moment, let's just forget that this person is undocumented migrant. Let's assume he or she has a family, or this is a child who goes to school and has parents back home. And as a human, you really deserve to have information about the whereabouts of your family or the people who are close to you. When you are taken abruptly and not given a chance to, contact your peoples, or just there are people being informed that you have been taken to a certain detention center, then definitely, to me, that is inhumane. Another issue is the changing attitudes towards mass deportations, where previously so many people were in support, but now even the Republicans themselves and the MAGA voters or supporters have really shifted, and this has leaped from 46% to 38%. You can clearly see that that number has dropped, and it should worry the administration that even its own people are now voting against the issue of mass deportations. And one would wonder, how can they try to resolve this matter in future? We all know that the Republican Party right now is going to that path of division where some people support this, others do not. A party should be the one that speaks one voice. We can clearly see that some representatives of the Republican Party in the Congress do have different opinions or voice their opinions differently. Like for instance, we can compare the policy era between the Trump administration and the future, where we're going to look at 4 different things. There's the issue of deportation, there's border security and legalization, and there's refugee or asylum policy. For deportation, I think this Trump era looks at mass deportations, but in the future, I really do think that deportations are gonna be much more targeted, where they have a specific rollout on how they are gonna approach some people and not just raid an area, maybe give you a notice and then come for you, pick you up just like the way normal arrests are being done, which again reduces anxiety and the disruption to normalcy in different areas that these raids are done. Like for instance, the one that has been done this month in LA, border security, where instead of going into border areas and creating a human wall, maybe in future they're gonna do proper artificial intelligence, take regional support, which would be done or conducted in a more humane manner. Then as of now, obviously, the existence of these people is illegal, and this has led to many people opposing that move. But in future, when they sit down and maybe come to a consensus, maybe they are gonna start looking for ways they can legalize some of these people. And then thereafter, when this policy has been implemented, we're gonna see a change in support of the people, where we're gonna see approval ratings maybe rising to an all-time high. Then the last issue is that issue of asylum seeking, where right now it's kind of hard, it's restricted. We all know that people did find themselves in the United States when they seek asylum. Most of them do not come the legal way. Most of them just escape from their countries and get in, and then from there they can process their papers after they have aired their issues or what they are facing, and then the department, they weigh their issue and see if they can be given asylum or refugee status, and then they can be allowed in the country, or if not, they become deported. I really do think that these are some of the things that are gonna take place. It's not just gonna be rough all throughout, especially when we head into the election period. But hey guys, it was really fresh news, so I found the need to talk about it. If you have your opinions or if you want to add on that, you can really do that. Don't shy away. Make sure you drop your comments or your opinions in the comment section down there below. Also, don't forget to check the original creators. Their usernames have been embedded in the stitched videos as always. So go onto their TikToks, follow, like for this channel. Make sure you smash a huge thumbs up button. Consider subscribing, turn on post notification. And for that, let me meet you in the next one. Peace out.